I've learned this. We are going out live, of course. We've done this many, many times, but we're going out live simultaneously to both of my Facebook accounts, my personal page and my business page, and on YouTube. Imagine that. As soon as LinkedIn gives me approval, I want to go out that way too, all at the same time, live. Millions of people are watching. No, not. I doubt that, but I'm excited about making some more progress. So watch for more clever stuff I'm learning to do. I just took a class, so I'm dangerous now. So we're live. Hey, look, we have just gotten through uh, a video on research and a video on advisors. That was last Friday, and the advisors was yesterday. So in this live broadcast, I want to add some more flavor to what this is all about. And you may be curious, I don't know, why in the heck am I talking about two subjects together? Well, there's a reason for it. Because very early on, when you're starting a company, you're going to do a lot of market research. And I'm going to make sure you do. I'm going to be on you. And in so doing, you need a lot of people, some of whom you might want to consider to be an advisor. So that's why I'm coupling them together, because as you're maturing and understanding your business and your market and who the competitors are, and you're participating in all sorts of events, all on Zoom, of course, and you're going to meet a lot of people because you're out there being active. You're going to be looking for advisors. So this kind of go together in my mind. So let me start, though, with the usual advertisement. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Onter YouTube channel, and you can see playlists full of this stuff. I got one on marketing. I got one on leadership, sales, how to put a plan together, how to get your company financed, neatly ordered, all 8 or 9 of them right there on the front page of our YouTube channel. So take a look. I think you'll enjoy what you see, and you'll get a lot out of it. That's really the purpose of it. But invite others, invite your friends, ask questions. You can do that in YouTube, and make comments or make suggestions. I'll respond to them all. You can do that here, by the way, too, and I want you to. As we get more into this, you've got questions, don't hesitate to ask. So join our YouTube channel. We'd love to have you. So let's get on into it. So at the beginning, as you're putting your plan together, you're doing some market research, and that was a previous video. So what is going to happen next is you're going to do a lot of work to figure out what your market is. That's what your research is for. You want to know all about how big this market is. Is it growing or not growing? Is it flat? Are there other sub-markets that break this huge billion or multi-billion-dollar market down into something that you can chew on? So you're going to do some market selection inside of this research. I'm picking exactly the group of buyers, I'll put it that way. A market is made up of a group of buyers that you think is big enough to be worthy of what you're going to offer them. And it's going to help you keep focused, which is one of the last things I'm going to talk about here. So you want to know, well, what makes this market a market in the first place? What are the environmental, regulatory, business, competition situations that are going on that causes this market to exist? A market is, of course, made up of buyers, and it's made up of buyers that have a need, which we've talked about many times already, a need that you're going to fulfill. And those buyers that have that need are your market, and you want to know all about them. I also like to draw a picture of the markets. Like this is boxes and circles and arrows pointing to each other, and a flow of the continuity of how a sale is made. That's how I usually write it down. But I want to depict all of the players in this market. I call them players, all the participants. So draw yourself a picture of your market landscape and include manufacturers, marketing organizations, distribution channels, warehousing, development operations, sales channels, things like that. And when you describe your market, explain what your relationship to these entities in your market, made up of your buyers, what you have to do with it, what you got to watch out for, what do you got to do to pal up with them, establish relationships. It helps you identify your whole market arena. I call it the landscape. This is back to my Intel days. We always talking about what's the market landscape, blah, blah, blah. So I continue to use that word. But you want to know where you fit. This is part of marketing positioning. You're positioning yourself within this landscape. How do you relate to all these players? And what, if anything, do you do with any of them? You are designing, developing, manufacturing, possibly, if you're making something, and you're going to market through marketing channels, and you have sales channels and all that sort of thing going on. Who are all the players that do all those things that you might need or who might compete with you? So draw a picture of your landscape. I think you'll find it interesting. Next is really understand the demographics, and that's kind of a loose term. Know all about your buyer and know their preferences. Marketing wackos today call this marketing personas of these people. Now, who are they? But I don't care what you call it. You need to know what it takes for them to get, first of all, become aware that you exist, what they need to know from you to even entertain a conversation, and particularly what do you have to go through in order to close a sale with them. I don't care if it's retail, whether it's a retail, online retail, or a retail store, or it's a service that you're selling that you're going to have a sales meeting with. Whatever your process is for whatever you're selling, you better know the decision maker. The persona is of the decision maker who's going to decide to approve the purchase of your products or services. So buyers' preferences, know them, and then you're not finished yet. You're going to understand this market. You're going to figure out who the competition is, right? And I'm not sure I covered this in the video yesterday, but I should have told you, and I'm going to tell you now, guess who your first competitor is? Your customer. Why? Because they have the need and they're dealing with it some way right now. Not with your products or services, maybe with somebody else's. So you first have to think about, well, how am I going to get over the hump of getting them interested in what I've got that is going to improve their lot in life? Their needs really emanate from what they have to do is hard to do, is expensive, it's full of mistakes, or whatever, costs too much, whatever the heck it is that you're going to solve. That's your first competitor. Overcome the status quo. Simple, huh? So this is also why you never say we don't have competitors, because your first competitor is your customer. Just remember that. But now, there may be some other companies out there that are solving the same problem as you are. That's the key part. A competitor is another company solving the same problem as you, and they may be doing it in an entirely different way. Don't ever get caught saying, well, they don't do what we do. But if they're trying to solve the same problem as you, they are a competitor. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to perhaps meet them in the marketplace. So make sure that you know who they are and do your SWOT analysis. We talked about that in the video on Monday. So do all that work. You really got to be up to speed, because guess what? Also, your competitors may be asking you, well, how do you stack up against XYZ company who was in here the other day trying to sell me the same porridge? You better have an answer. That's competitive positioning. And you're going to say an answer to them without disparaging your competitor, but clearly showing you're better. And then the final thought with respect to research is stay focused. Well, it's more than just the research. Once you determine your market, stay focused on it. but stay focused and drilling in on a market that you really want to go after, and then know all of these things about that. You don't need to know all of these things about every other damn market you might be thinking about. Know these for where you're really going to go. And then keep in your head and in the eyes and minds of all those people that work with you that this is where we're headed. This is the market we're after. And if you ever see them deviating from them, steer them back. Say, no, that's not what we're working on. That's not the market we're in. Go this way. You do that until your face caves in and say, well, I'm going down the wrong path here. I may have to change to a different market. You can decide to do that, but not at the drop of a pen and not at the moment a customer says, well, why did you do this to this set of customers? And you say, well, look, let me take that under advisement. Thank you for the idea. Then move back into what you're selling them. So that's research. The next thing is advisors. Now, all along the way here in your research, you've been meeting people and been impressed by some of them. And I'm fixing my notes here. Hold on just a second. Doing that live. Is that allowed to do that? To interrupt my... I think it is. So we're talking about advisors, people that you have met, that perhaps you already know, hopefully, that are going to give you rock solid advice about your market, all that stuff I just got through talking about. Your market, your competitors, marketing channels, sales channels, manufacturers. You want to know a group of people that can help you really engage with all of these players in your market that you're going to have to do business with and perhaps actually support you in your business. So have a set of advisors that know how to do that, not just anybody. So when you're selecting an advisor at this stage of the game, we're just getting started with doing the plan for the company. It would be a good idea to have a business coach, someone who also is experienced. You may have to pay them something to actually have them do this for you. Okay. There are many of entrepreneurship programs around our area and about every city in America that has these people kind of hanging around looking to help people. Get them. Get the ones that are really knowledgeable of what you're trying to do. Adds a lot of value and can give you referrals and in addition to the solid advice about how your business should be run, how to get it going in the first place, and help you avoid terrible mistakes. Think about getting a mentor as well. A mentor is a little bit different than a coach. A mentor is much more an advisor that gives you ideas, tests your thinking, helps you talk through a decision to get convinced that you're making the right one. A mentor doesn't tell you what to do, nor goes out and does it for you. A coach or business consultant, almost the same kind of thing, will do those kinds of things. Mentors are advisors. You're going to have them for an hour a week at most, probably less though. But keep your eye out for these people because eventually you're going to have to put in place an advisory board. Well, I say have to. You should, put it this way. So I want to be somewhat strong about this, that as you meet more and more of these people, keep your eyes open for those that are going to make a big difference in your business. People that can give you good, solid advice, and later on you're going to officially make them part of your advisory board and pay them a little stock to provide the advisory board advice. And do some work on making referrals and things like that. Review documents, review your plan, review your pitch. People who have been there, done that, these are particularly people that know a lot about your market and the kind of business that you're in. The board of directors is a wholly different thing than an advisory board. These are people that are carrying out a fiduciary responsibility for your company, representing the shareholders. Now, if you're just starting a company, it's you and maybe another person, co-founders. But if you take investors, now you're Now you got other people on your capitalization table that you got to watch out for. And uh, if you're taking investors, they're going to insist that you have a board. So all my point here is you're not going to form your board here before you even put your plan together, but you're going to be on the lookout for people that could be that. So if there are people, serious players, probably currently so, they're not retired, they're active in your market and the kind of business that you're in, and they're well connected in the financing world, for example, if you need to go raise money, have all the characteristics of what you need for carrying out a fiduciary responsibility where they can represent the best interest of the shareholders of the company, which would include you, of course. Then finally, you need an attorney, and I talked about that in the video yesterday, as well as accountants, those that have CPAs. But you may have lots of other subcontractors for development, marketing, social media work, email campaigns, and the list goes on. You can consider them as an extended part of your team because you're going to be giving them direction, not in the sense of an employee, but direction in the sense of a task to fulfill, to complete. And you're paying them to do it. So we don't want to get messed up in labor laws here with telling people what to do and when to do it when they're subcontractors. So that's all about advisors and all about the market research that led up to the need for this. So the video, we're doing live today, but the video tomorrow is going to be on your team and putting together the team of people that are actually going to be working with you as participants in your company. And we're going to go through all of that. So that's tomorrow. That'll be out around 10 o'clock tomorrow. So there you have it, research and advisors. So the advice here is do complete research. Do a serious job of this and select influential advisors, not just anybody, people that are relevant. Perform your complete research and do it well. And as you do it, keep your eye open for advisors and potential board members and board of directors, those kinds of things. So questions, and I got a few here. This first one says, so you got to be really well connected to find these kind of people, don't you? Yeah, and yes, you do. But if you're not well connected yourself, that's even more important that you get connected to people who are. Let them guide you to where you need to go and actually make referrals. Well, the next question is, well, I'm a tech guy. In fact, I think he's biotech. I think I know him. And I don't know anything about business. How am I going to put together these people that you're talking about? Well, the answer is almost the same. By referral, through people you know. I think you're in the medical field. And doctors, experienced doctors, know a lot of people. Get to know a few of them. They can make referrals for you. But I always say, let Google be your friend. Let LinkedIn be your friend. Do some searches on there. I use those two platforms a lot. If I want to find an expert on some field for somebody I'm trying to help, I've got a lot of connections on LinkedIn, and I usually can find 3 or 4 people that might fit the bill. So in their first level connections, I make referrals that way. So you got to network around, and I know it's tough to do now that we're all closeted up in our home offices and things like that. But you can do it by establishing relationships through LinkedIn yourself, or by introduction of someone who knows the person you want to reach on LinkedIn, and let them give you an introduction. So you grow your network of people you know. So it's going to be a longer trek if you're not connected. You got to get connected. That's my point. So the next question is, well, what do you look for in a marketing person? Oh my God. You ready for about a 10-minute answer here? I'm not going to do that to you. Hey, look, marketing people, I love them dearly, but they fall into two categories in my mind. One is the strategist, the person that can really understand your market, perhaps has participated in it before, can really understand what is the right way to create awareness and bring those now aware people to your website where they can check you out and how to take them to the next step of getting a meeting with them. I call those the 3 steps of marketing. Now, there are other approaches, but you're looking, if you don't have a marketing strategy, you want to talk to a marketing strategist. The second kind of marketing person, I call a marketing mechanic. They do your SEO. They'll build your website. They'll execute your advertising campaigns and your social media posts and your email campaigns. And maybe I already said that. But they're mechanics. They know how to do this stuff. They don't know beans about your business, though, too often. So in that relationship, if you want somebody doing social media work, you create the content and let them deliver it through the right channels based on the marketing strategy that you gave them. Sometimes you can be real lucky and get both of these kind of people in one person. A strategist that knows how to execute marketing campaigns, or at least the major ones. Man, I look for them. But if you go to our playlist on marketing, I forget, it's 3 or 4 down on the YouTube playlist. There's a quite extensive series of videos on how to be successful at marketing. It'd be good for you to watch that. That's it for the questions. The rest are, that's thumbs up, Bill, great, Bill. So I'm getting reviews here, I guess. But I've enjoyed talking to you. This is one of the longer ones I've done. We're up to 22 minutes. I don't edit this, so this is going to be easy to publish. So I appreciate you all joining. Thank you very much. Have a great day.